everyone. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Ray from Rayla Coaching, and today we're going to talk about one of the foundational materials needed to even start the Confidence Toolkit. And this one is about neuroscience behind the Confidence Toolkit. So let's start. Confidence isn't just a mindset or even a skill. It's the witness inside you, the steady presence that never left, even if it's been buried under self-doubt, protective habits, or survival strategies. Real confidence isn't loud. It's not about performance. It's the quiet clarity that comes when your whole inner system, conscious, subconscious, and unconscious, begins to trust your truth. Your subconscious mind is rooted in the primitive, the protective part of your brain, the same wiring that kept your ancestors alive. Its job isn't to help you grow. Its job is to help you survive. It doesn't use logic or language. It speaks in a felt sense, an emotional memory, an imagery, and repetition. That means that even when you want to change on your conscious level, set a boundary, speak your truth, chase a dream, your subconscious may slam on the brakes. And why? Because change is unfamiliar, and unfamiliar equals unsafe to the primitive brain. Even healthy behaviors like being seen, saying no, or being honest can register as dangerous if they risk disconnection. And for good reason. We are born with three hardwired fears: falling, loud noises, and abandonment. As infants, abandonment could mean death. So your subconscious, trained by early experiences, equates many authentic expressions with potential disconnection. So when you procrastinate, self-sabotage, fawn, or shut down, it's not because you're broken. It's because your nervous system is trying to keep you safe. And here's the kicker. The conscious mind only governs 5% of your daily behavior, and the other 95% is run by subconscious programming. You can't outthink your subconscious, but you can learn how to communicate with it in its own language. Pushing against it, and it'll push even harder back. But speak to it with safety, imagery, emotion, and repetition, and you earn its trust. So I'm going to talk about attachment theory here and how this even relates to all that I'm talking about. Attachment theory helps us decode the emotional blueprints that shape how we give and receive connection and how we develop protection-based behaviors that look like confidence or the lack of confidence. For example, I'm going to go through each of the attachment styles. So starting with dismissive avoidant. They may appear composed and independent and emotionally unbothered, but this is often a form of emotional self-protection, a strategy developed in childhood environments where feelings were dismissed or punished. They learn to need less in order to avoid rejection. Now, anxious, preoccupied, or fearful avoidant individuals might show up as clinging, overgiving, reactive, unsure of themselves. These aren't signs of weakness. They're nervous system adaptations to inconsistent care, unmet needs, and a lack of safe relational modeling. Whether someone withdraws or overreaches, the root is often the same: a subconscious strategy to avoid abandonment, rejection, and overwhelm. So even when someone seems confident, it may be a form of strategic disconnection, not deep self-trust. True confidence has nothing to prove. It doesn't need to posture or hide. It flows when safety meets authenticity. And let's just say that again. True confidence has nothing to prove. It doesn't need to posture or hide. It flows when safety meets authenticity. Okay, imagine your internal world as a castle, a layered structure built to protect, preserve, and maintain order. The walls and moat represent the unconscious mind, the furthest edges of your awareness. This is the mysterious realm of buried beliefs, ancestral memories, collective fear, and unprocessed experience. It reacts protectively and is hard to access directly. Now, the castle itself represents your subconscious, closer to your awareness and shaped by emotion, habit, repetition, and relational experiences. It houses your attachment pattern, self-image, and the roles you've learned to play. And in the innermost sanctum of the castle lives your intuition. And I would argue that actually the intuition lives in the spaces between all of it. The truest form of I, of the familiar. This is not the self you perform to stay safe. It's the witness within, the part of you that feels truth in your bones, hears wisdom in silence, and instinctively knows when to act. Some call this your spirit, your higher self, your soul. This sovereign inner I is always there. But when your system has been shaped by fear, rejection, and survival stress, your subconscious guards the familiar, not the true. It protects it with the FAM and the liar. And of course, I have a video on that, so check that out. Your work isn't to storm the castle. It's to teach the subconscious to recognize your intuition as safe to follow, not something to protect you from. When you speak in the language your subconscious understands, imagery, repetition, emotion, and safety, the walls soften, the drawbridge lowers, and your internal system can begin to work in harmony again. When the castle stops protecting just the past and starts protecting your truth, confidence becomes the natural outcome. Not because you forced it, but because you remembered who you are. The good news, your brain can change. Thanks to neuroplasticity, your nervous system can form new neural pathways through emotional, resonant, repeated, and safe experiences. This is the process that rewires your patterns, not by force, but by familiarity. To build true confidence, you must first create micro moments of safety while doing new things. Use visualization, self-regulation, and compassionate inner language. Repeat these new signals until your subconscious says, this is familiar. We're safe. We can do this. I recognize this. Oh yeah. This is how confidence grows organically, sustainably, and from within. You weren't born lacking confidence. You were taught that being yourself wasn't safe. Confidence isn't something you have to build from scratch. It's something you uncover when your nervous system no longer has to fight your authenticity. When the subconscious shifts from guarding your past to protecting your truth, when the drawbridge lowers and the guards stop panicking at every little new idea, when your intuition becomes the trusted guide of your life, confidence emerges, not as a mask or a muscle, but as quiet, steady presence that belongs to you. And here's an unexpected gift. When you learn the language and signals of your subconscious, something profound happens. You gain access to a portal into the unconscious. Through your intuition, you begin to feel less afraid of the unknown. You gain comfort in the mystery. You tap into something bigger than your personal story, a connection to the collective unconscious, to ancestral knowing, to what people may call source. And the subconscious becomes a bridge. The intuition becomes a compass, and the unconscious becomes less of a void and more of a deep well of wisdom. Because the unconscious isn't just chaos, it's connection at its ripest, truest form. And when your intuition leads, you remember that you were never just trying to be confident, you were trying to return to yourself. And that's why my business is called Remember Authentic You, because it's about a remembering. And I hope you will join me in, if you haven't already gone to the Confidence Toolkit, go to raylifecoaching.com/free-resources, or go to the workshops page and check that out. I also have a hotlines page, and you'll see that right here and all the links that you can figure out where you belong and how to get back to yourself. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a great day.